All right, scholars, let's take a look at the think about it. 1a, rewrite the following expression in standard form. So 3 times 100 is 300. 5 times 10 is 50. 2 times 1 is 2. Just remember to bring your plus sign down. I also like to organize this in parentheses. 4 times 100 means we have a 4 in the hundreds place. And 9 times 1,000 means we have a 9 in the thousands place. So this is tenths, hundreds, thousands. Okay, so now we're gonna start to add this up so I could create my number in standard form. All right, so I can see that I have 300 plus 50 plus 2 plus 4 hundreds and 9 thousandths, and we can add it all up one by one, or we can just start putting each number in its correct place value. So there should be a 3 in the hundreds place. There is a 5 in the tenths place. There is a 2 in the ones place. We don't have anything in the tenths place because nothing is being multiplied by 1 over 10, so I'm going to put a 0. There's a 4 in the hundreds place, and then there's a 9 in the thousandths place. All right, so this is going to be our number written in standard form for 1a. Okay, let's go to 1b. Evaluate the following expression, and I'll write this number right over here. We got 3 and 825 thousandths. And we're going to divide by 100, which is 2 powers of 10, since 10 times 10 is 100. And a reminder when you divide, and I like to do this sometimes to remind myself. So I'll use a division question that I know the answer to, like 80 divided by 10 is 8. And you can see that the 8 shifts from the tens place to the right, to the ones place, 1 to the right. So that's a good reminder to know that when I divide, each digit is gonna shift 2 times to the right. And the decimal is not gonna move at all. Okay, so let me go ahead and set this up. And since I know I'm shifting to the right, that's where I'll be able to draw these lines to help me organize my work. I got plenty of space here. I don't even need all these lines. Just wanted to make sure I had plenty of space. And remember, this decimal is going to stay in the same spot. And I'm actually going to also put lines here to help me organize my work because that might be useful. And just remember that this doesn't count as a place value, this decimal, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and do this. So each digit is going to shift 2 times to the right. So 1, 2. So now the 5 is there. And if you want, you could quickly start writing the other numbers, but I'm just going to do it step by step. 1, 2. Oh, I was supposed to shift the 2, not the 8. So here we go. 1, 2. So that's 2. And then the 8, 1, 2. Okay, and then notice the decimal staying there. All right, so the decimal staying there. So now I'm going to bring the 3. Just be careful not to count this as a place value. It's got to go all the way to the 10th. So 1, 2, right? And all the numbers are still next to each other, as they should be. So now what I need to do is I need to put a number here. It can't just be blank. So I'm going to put a 0. And then to make this look a little nicer, we also want to put a 0 in the ones place. And then this is the correct answer. And I'll just go ahead and type it up right over here. And there we go. And that is going to be our answer for 1B. Okay, let's go to the next 2 questions where we're making a comparison here. It says, which expression has the greatest value? Explain why. So I'll go ahead and write this number right over here. And I'm going to set it up so that I could start shifting the 7. And we're multiplying. So remember, a good reminder is you can make a little multiplication problem to one that you know the answer to. So 8 times 10 is 80. So notice the 8 goes from the ones place and it shifts to the left. So that means this 7 is going to shift to the left 6 times because we have 6 powers of 10. So let me go ahead and set this up. It would land here for 1 time, 2 times, bringing that decimal down. And I'm actually just going to leave it like this so I don't confuse myself when I'm shifting to the left. And you'll see what I'm talking about if you don't understand right now. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that should do it. Let's go ahead and start. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is where it's going to land. And now I need to put zeros all the way to the ones place. So 1 0, 2 zeros, and 3 zeros, okay? I don't need to put a 0 here. It wouldn't change anything. Right now I have a 7,000, and it doesn't matter if I keep putting zeros. It's going to stay as a 7,000. So I'm going to type this right over here, and I'll put the comma now. So 7,000 for letter A. Let's go ahead and take a look at letter B. And for letter B, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to kind of write this the other way around to help me out. So it's going to be 10 times, and I'm going to multiply it by 10 over 4. The reason I'm doing this is so I could just take this 10, and I'll set it up right over here. And since I'm multiplying, I know that I'm going to shift the 1 to the left, and I'm going to shift it 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I put a 1 here. Now I got to fill in zeros until I get to the ones place. Remember, when you don't see that decimal, there is a decimal, and I should have been more careful here, right? I could have only put 1 0 and forgot that I also got to put a 0 under the ones place because there's a decimal hiding right here, and we just leave it invisible since there's no other numbers to the right of it that are not that is not a 0. Okay, so let me go ahead and type this answer up, and I'll put the comma later to prevent mistakes. So I get how many zeros? 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I only have 4. There we go. 1, 2, 3. So I need to put a comma there. So I get 100,000. So now I'm ready to answer this question. Which one has the greater value? I am going to go ahead and box that answer in orange right now. So it's going to be this 100,000. This one has a greater value. And the reason it has a greater value is you could type an explanation if you would like. Basically typing what I'm about to explain and show. 100,000 is greater than 7,000. Okay, so this is the reason why. So I'm proving why I know. I wouldn't just say that. I wouldn't leave it written this way. I would rewrite it like this, like I just did, and type up something that says, which expression is it? So expression B has the greatest value because 100,000 is greater than 7,000. All right, and let's take a look at our key points. So first key point, expanded form shows how the value of each digit adds up to the value of the number. So we were able to try that out right now. And to multiply or divide decimal fractions by powers of 10, shift the digits to the right or the left. So we just work this out. When we multiply, it shifts to the left. So that's like an 8 going to an 80, right? 8 times 10 is 80. And when we divide, the numbers shift to the right. That's like an 80 divided by 10. That 8 is shifting to the right.